Scalp micropigmentation, or SMP, is one of the fastest growing careers in permanent makeup and aesthetics. But here's the big question. How do you actually get licensed to perform SMP as a professional artist? Today, I'll break down the requirements, the AAM's board certification process, the training you'll need to get to succeed, and where you can work after graduating. Let's talk about licensing in New Jersey. In New Jersey, SMP falls under the same category as cosmetic and paramedical tattooing. Now, this is going to be a different department than cosmetology and barbering, so this means you must apply in the body art branch through your local health department. The requirements for legal practice are in this order. First, obtaining your board certification with the AAM or the SPCP, allowing you to practice legally in New Jersey. Second, completing an approved SMP training program. Third, showing proof of up-to-date bloodborne pathogen certification. And fourth, finally, having a safe, inspected workspace. So like we mentioned, unlike hairstyling, cosmetology, or aesthetics, SMP in New Jersey does not require a cosmetology license or an esthetician license. It is a branch of body art tattooing, which means you'll follow tattoo and all body art regulations dictated by the Department of Health. Every SMP artist in New Jersey must be board certified, and we'll get into more details on that later in this video. And no matter which state you practice in, each county within that state may have slightly different requirements, with some towns forbidding tattooing altogether. So you always want to check with your local health board before deciding on where to work. So that was New Jersey. What about the other states? The short answer, SMP is regulated as cosmetic tattooing almost everywhere in the USA. For example, New York and California also require artists to hold a tattoo license, which includes training in infection control and health inspections. You must complete your training, complete the application, and pay all accompanying fees to the state in order to work as an SMP artist. States like New Jersey and Massachusetts require board certification by the AAM or SPCP for all artists, and that includes SMP artists. A few states still have gray areas regarding cosmetic and paramedical tattooing, so the best practice is always to ask your local health department and to keep a copy of all of your credentials on hand. For licensing requirements in all 50 states, as well as where to find contact information for these departments, visit us at hyperrealacademy.com and look for the page that says Licensing Requirements by State. Here, you'll find everything you need to know to begin your journey starting from your state in which you wish to work. So let's talk about why board certification matters. The American Academy of Micropigmentation is the AAM, and the Society of Permanent Cosmetic Professionals is the SPCP. These organizations set the national gold standard for permanent makeup, and that includes SMP. Some states, such as New Jersey and Massachusetts, will require this certification as a prerequisite for getting your state-approved licensing or in place of a state-regulated license. This means you'll need to prove yourself as a skilled artist to the AAM or SPCP board if you wish to practice legally as an artist. After you are licensed to practice, you will then be eligible to complete your SMP training. So in New Jersey, SMP artists are also required to be both licensed and proficient in eyebrow, eyeliner, and lip blush techniques before they're eligible to learn advanced skills such as SMP, areola restoration, as well as other paramedical techniques. To qualify for the AAM board certification, you will need to complete a minimum of 100 hours of practical and theoretical training, and then you'll need to complete an apprenticeship with between 5 to 15 supervised procedures under the guidance of an AAM certified trainer. And this will be either an AAM Diamond or an AAM Platinum member. The AAM requires you to demonstrate the following: proper sanitation and safety practices, competence in mapping, pigment theory, and machine techniques. So you can't be using microblading, you have to have some examples of machine techniques for the brows once you get there. A board-approved informed client consent form, proof of your permanent makeup procedures according to the board standard of practice, knowledge of state regulations and valid practitioner's insurance, and finally, you have to prove your PMU theoretical knowledge by completing the AAM board exam. Once you pass this board exam, you will earn your AAM Gold status. This is required for some states and a major career advantage in other states when you're getting your license, applying for your job, or opening your own studio. Then you will begin your SMP training. Your SMP instructor is required to be either AAM or SPCP board certified in all states that require it for permanent makeup. At Hyperreal Academy, we are dedicated to both cosmetic and paramedical tattooing. So while we've been licensing artists in many states since 2020, we're still best known for our advanced programs. Our instructors offer SMP as well as paramedical technical training for all licensed artists. Now that we know what the prerequisites and licensing requirements are, let's get into the details of what to expect during your SMP training and education. To become a professional SMP artist, you'll need more than just machine skills. You'll need comprehensive training. Before you begin training to become an elite level artist, it's important to know the difference between botched and excellent work so you can choose a skilled trainer. SMP is considered an advanced skill requiring a lot of knowledge to be able to create a tattoo that's both lifelike and long-lasting. Not everyone can pull this off, so you'll need to make sure you're learning with skilled professionals who can produce the level of work that you will want to match. A quality SMP training program will cover skin anatomy and the zones of various skin thicknesses across the scalp, male and female hair loss patterns, pigment theory for SMP, machine control with dot placement patterns, how to create gradient patterns with hair follicle dots, client consultation and customer service, hairline mapping following each client's unique facial proportions, how to plan each client's SMP treatments in multiple sessions, and then how to plan follow-up treatments for future hairline recession. And last but not least, hands-on experience with live models. An apprenticeship. Look for a school or trainer that meets your state's requirements, that offers both classroom learning and real model practice. Avoid programs that only give you like a weekend crash course type of deal. You won't really get the hours or experience you need in this kind of program. An example of a board certified and state approved program is our SMP training program at Hyperreal Academy. This program will include all of what we mentioned earlier, as well as a professional SMP kit with a specialized machine just for SMP, pigments just for SMP, silicone practice sheets, a carry case, and everything that an artist needs to work on real clients. Our machine is also unique because it does SMP using automated dot placement, effectively eliminating the need for freehand tattooing and thus reducing human error. This is a best-selling course at our academy and you're going to love it. And this course is also available online for people who are not in New Jersey but also would like to get a license. My students also get an SMP textbook with practice material to keep their skills strong, long after graduation. I wrote this book myself in 2024, so it's currently the most modern technical manual on the market. Each student also gets live demos and guided model procedures, so each person can leave with a professional SMP portfolio. Let's talk about where you're going to work after graduation. Once you're licensed and certified, where can you work as an SMP artist? Here are some of the most common career paths. You can apply for a role in a barbershop or a hair clinic. A lot of hair clinics may partner with SMP artists, and this is so that they can offer clients non-surgical hairline restoration options, and barbershops as well. Of course, you can cut hair, but there's no way for you to add hair as a barber unless you know SMP. Medical spas or dermatology offices. SMP is very effective for disguising potential scarring following cosmetic surgery, hair transplants, or just your run-of-the-mill scar on your hairline. SMP is going to be invaluable for clinics that specialize in hair transplants or dermatologist offices. And when you're doing paramedical tattoos, this will typically come with a higher pay than your traditional cosmetic tattoos. Remember, this is an advanced skill that has a higher price tag than a core skill. Permanent makeup clinics and tattoo studios. This is great for building clientele if you're just starting out. You don't need to worry about leasing a space or negotiating the rent and all the rules and regulations that come with operating your own studio. You'll be working at somebody else's studio and somebody else will be paying the rent and utilities. All you have to do is show up with a great attitude and build up your clientele from there. Independent studio owner. With the right licensing and business setup, you can open your own space and grow your own brand. SMP is highly requested by both men and women with rapid growth thanks to social media. So your potential audience is huge. Here at our clinic, we have people drive in from different states. We have people fly in from different states. As long as you have the right tools and technique to create beautiful SMP hairlines, you will certainly stay booked and busy. So if you want to become an SMP artist in New Jersey or anywhere in the US, you'll need permanent makeup licensing, a state-approved training program, and board certification that may be mandatory depending on where you live and where you want to work. From there, you can build a rewarding career in permanent makeup clinics, tattoo studios, med spas, barbershops, or even your own studio. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. If you want to get your SMP license but don't really know where to start, comment below with the state you're in and I'll make a video breaking down the requirements for your area next. Follow Hyperreal Academy for more free permanent makeup education, and I'll see you in the next video.